They didn't arrive with banners or loud declarations, just looming silhouettes above, and the steady hum of engines that never signaled peace. What they delivered was bound to alter the dynamics of this conflict. To grasp the significance of these aircraft, we must examine the two key systems that redefined the battlefield: the HIMARS and the C-17 Globemaster III. Let's explore this transformation through the lens of Navy strategies. In a bold maneuver, the United States dispatched numerous C-17 Globemaster II's to supply HIMARS rocket systems to Ukraine. This action extended beyond simple aid. It was a strategic message reinforcing Ukraine's defenses as the prolonged struggle with Russia intensified. By deploying C-17s, the U.S. guaranteed swift, direct delivery of critical weaponry into a war-torn nation. These aircraft didn't merely carry supplies, they carried intent, demonstrating America's commitment through high-tech firepower rather than empty promises. Each mission transported a powerful system capable of hitting targets deep behind enemy lines, offering Ukraine a precision capability it previously lacked. Although assistance had been provided earlier, this marked a new phase in both magnitude and outcome. Ukrainian troops were no longer just resisting. They now had the firepower to transform combat zones. These American shipments were intentionally visible, sending a bold message to both allies and adversaries. The importance wasn't limited to what was being delivered. It was about the pace and manner of delivery. The presence of C-17s on Ukrainian soil made one fact unmistakable: Washington was escalating its involvement. But this was more than logistical support. It was symbolic of a shift in warfare. The C-17 Globemaster III represents more than a cargo plane. It embodies the strength of U.S. military logistics. Built by Boeing, this aircraft is essential for missions demanding agility, speed, and global range. It can haul heavy gear such as missile systems, armored vehicles, and personnel across continents. What sets the C-17 apart is its capability to land on short or damaged runways, even makeshift ones in active combat areas. Its extended flight range allows it to access remote and hazardous zones without needing to refuel, enabling immediate support in crisis areas like Ukraine. Its arrival served not just to transport weapons, but to reinforce the notion that the U.S. can project strength wherever required, regardless of risks. This logistical edge gives the Pentagon a clear advantage over slower or less agile military operations. Every mission signals preparedness, efficiency, and resolve. In the broader European context, the aircraft's presence assures NATO partners that American forces are ready for rapid action if conditions worsen. In contemporary conflict, logistics is as vital as firepower. The C-17's capability proves that battlefield success also hinges on how swiftly and effectively resources can be deployed. Yet the true danger wasn't in the aircraft themselves. It lay in their payload. The introduction of HIMARS to the battlefield granted Ukraine a critical upper hand it never had before. Unlike older artillery systems, HIMARS offers both mobility and pinpoint accuracy, capable of launching GPS-guided rockets over 80 kilometers with surgical precision. It revolutionizes how targets are engaged. Instead of mass shelling, Ukraine began targeting key infrastructure: ammunition storage, radar arrays, and command hubs deep behind enemy lines. These weren't accidental hits. They were carefully coordinated strikes, delivering destructive results. With this extended reach, Ukraine could damage strategic assets without repositioning ground forces or heavy artillery near the front, enabling fast, efficient assaults with minimal exposure. By constantly shifting positions, Ukraine kept Russian forces unsettled and uncertain. HIMARS didn't simply strike. It disrupted logistics and command structures entirely. From a tactical view, this weapon marked a shift in Ukraine's approach, from merely defending territory to actively throwing off Russia's rhythm. It gave Ukrainian forces the power to choose the moment and location of engagement, forcing Russia to respond rather than dictate the tempo. Satellite data and frontline reports validated this shift, revealing shattered sites deep in territories held by Russian troops. The psychological toll was equally profound. Russian units now knew that distance offered no protection. Rear logistics hubs and staging points had to be hastily moved or hidden, often under tight deadlines. For Ukraine, HIMARS emerged not only as a tool of warfare, but as a powerful emblem of control and defiance. A declaration that nowhere was truly out of reach. It didn't just enhance Ukrainian firepower. It gave them the ability to reshape combat with speed, accuracy, and clear intent. Once HIMARS was deployed, everything transformed, not just on the ground, but in the minds of those fighting. It expanded Ukraine's influence and changed how battles were conducted. With pinpoint precision and extended range, the system disrupted Russian operational planning. Locations once thought secure, command stations, radar installations, supply hubs, were now in striking range. Ukraine began targeting the core of Russia's war infrastructure. In many instances, a single HIMARS strike accomplished what conventional shelling would take weeks to degrade. This wasn't only about destruction. It was about dominance. When your enemy must constantly relocate, scatter equipment, or hide below ground, their ability to coordinate and fight diminishes. Russian soldiers quickly felt the effects. Recon reports and satellite images showed adjustments in their formations. Equipment spread wider apart, and command units moved often to avoid detection. Morale eroded as troops realized that even support zones behind the front were no longer safe. For Ukraine, this was a turning point. No longer locked in slow, attritional battles, they could carry out rapid, targeted strikes and shift position before retaliation. Battle plans slowed down. Morale lost. Was not bad, for HIMARS let them wage a smarter war, using fewer assets for greater results. It also instilled confidence, knowing they possessed a weapon their adversary truly feared. This new combat method gave Ukraine superiority in key theaters. It wasn't just about stronger weapons. It was about mastering the art of applying them with precision. HIMARS became both a battlefield asset and a symbol of modern strategic thinking, defined by speed, accuracy, and psychological warfare. But such a dramatic shift didn't go unnoticed, especially in Moscow. The deployment of HIMARS to Ukraine triggered an immediate and hostile reaction. Russian officials condemned the move, calling it a dangerous provocation and blaming the West for escalating the war. State-run media branded the system a major threat, warning that the conflict would spiral further if long-range systems kept arriving. To Russian authorities, HIMARS represented more than military hardware. It symbolized America's deeper role in what they considered a local conflict. They argued that its presence dashed any remaining hope for diplomacy and signaled that NATO was pushing Ukraine toward greater confrontation. These claims weren't just aimed at global observers. They were also crafted to solidify internal support and legitimize continued Russian aggression. Leaders held their ground. The US and NATO emphasized Ukraine's right to defend itself using advanced technology. Officials stressed that HIMARS was not an offensive tool, but a means to restore balance against a superior force. Its delivery wasn't an escalation. It was a defense of sovereignty. instability realized that advanced technology could tip the scales, even in the absence of massive armies. They watched how quickly and decisively the U.S. came to Ukraine's aid. With precision, speed, and unwavering resolve, despite stern warnings from Moscow. But the West pressed forward, knowing that stepping back would project weakness. In Ukraine, HIMARS came to represent more than just a weapon. It stood for hope and meaningful support. And as guided missiles soared, a new kind of modern warfare emerged. The combination of HIMARS and the C-17 Globemaster III unveiled a new model for assisting allies in conflict. This approach centers around three main pillars: rapid deployment, pinpoint accuracy, and unmatched mobility. It enables the U.S. to reinforce its partners without massive troop deployments, all while delivering impactful firepower that can reshape battle scenarios. Thanks to the C-17, weapons like HIMARS can be flown directly into dangerous areas, even when roads are damaged or blocked. The aircraft can land on minimal runway space and unload swiftly. Once on the ground, HIMARS can launch precision strikes and be on the move again within minutes, leaving the enemy little time to respond or target back. This tactic isn't just fast, it's efficient. A limited number of mobile launchers equipped with guided munitions can achieve what previously required massive artillery barrages. This reduces the demand for excessive ammunition stockpiles and lengthy supply operations. For nations with smaller military forces, this levels the playing field without matching the manpower of larger adversaries. The strategy also reduces risk. Instead of extended missions with high logistical burdens, the U.S. can now offer precise, short-term support packages that enhance safety for its personnel while proving its commitment to partners. The effectiveness of HIMARS in Ukraine has already drawn global attention, especially from countries facing larger, more aggressive neighbors. What makes this modern military model so potent is its adaptability. Today's wars are fluid and fast. It's no longer about occupying land, but disabling an enemy's ability to wage war. HIMARS and the C-17, together, represent deterrence, speed, and technological superiority. Yet beyond the battlefield lies a broader shift, a transformation in how power is projected in today's geopolitical landscape. These systems have become more than just tools. They now embody how the U.S. engages in and supports contemporary conflict. Together, they demonstrate that with fast responses and cutting-edge systems, it's possible to alter war outcomes without deploying vast armies. This evolving strategy is shaping the global theater, broadcasting a powerful message. America remains ready, capable, and at the forefront of military innovation. As the world keeps its eyes on Ukraine, the critical questions are: how widely will this approach spread? And how quickly will others respond? Because in today's military reality, speed and precision aren't luxuries. They're the new standard. And that concludes this episode from Navy Secret, your go-to source for in-depth, expert-backed insights into modern warfare and strategy. If you found this content informative, be sure to like and subscribe. Your continued support helps us bring you even more high-quality analysis. Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay with us for the next update. See you soon!